Hello and welcome to my inquiry presentation. This is the final run of this presentation. My name is Lawrence Smith. I worked with FedEx for 28 years. I'm working presently as a quality control process engineer. And the job I had before that was a project engineering specialist. The one I had before that was a senior technical training advisor. And the one I had before that was electrical technician. I reside here in northern Mississippi. As y'all know, the main hub for FedEx is in Memphis, Tennessee. And I've been working at home for the last 4 or 5 years. So here's a little background about what sparked my inquiry. And this is what happened. When I used to take training classes, I noticed that the courses weren't laid out properly and the subjects taught were unengaging. And to be honest, I really didn't feel like I learned a lot. And finally, after taking the courses, I received a survey that was really like a joke. So I did some research at the time to verify my issues, and I found out that there was something that was common amongst a lot of students. So when I got a chance after my promotion into the training department, then I decided that I was going to try to do improve training for students in their learning. Okay, so this leads to me, what is my wondering? Okay, and my wondering has evolved into this question: how can I improve learning and reduce the cognitive load at the same time for student learners? Okay, this is how I collected my data. What I did was I made a pilot class from a lockout tagout class. And that class, what I did was I made a survey and I sent it out to students just so I could get an idea for a baseline of what I wanted to try to improve upon. Then I did the actual course, and when I did the actual course, I sent out another survey, and I sent out some to some of my colleagues and to the students. And so I'm going to show you some of the forms and stuff that I sent out a little bit later in this presentation. Now, some of the things that I used as far as literature, I used Taylor and Francis, I used ERIC, I used Google Scholar and other databases. Okay, so how did I go about analyzing my data? Okay, so this is what I did with my data. When I got my data, I looked at it overall. Then I broke it down into different groups, and for each group I assigned a code. So like if it was something wrong with the checkpoint questions, then it would be a code like CP and then _Q and whatever questions it was. Like if it was something wrong with the navigation of the course, it'd be navigation and then underscore and then a number or some other letters. And so I went through and I grouped everything like that. And then that's how I came up with my ideas about what I need to do to improve it. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, this is some of the claims that that were generated through the process of data analysis. I definitely noticed that navigation and questions variety, difficulty, and extra information were problems that needed addressing. How did your ways of collecting and analyzing data change, evolve as you inquired? Well, I wanted to ensure that the data was truthful, and so I followed the surveys with interviews. And that way I could get more of a personal feel to see, and so the students and learners would actually understand, where I was coming from, to make them feel good. And so they'd be more apt to, tell the truth about how they really feel about the courses. Okay, so I'm going to share the actions that I took. Okay, so this is what I did. One of the main actions taken was providing navigational instructions as well as showing examples. And then I added the organization of modules and course materials. And that should kind of give students a a broad picture of what they're going to be doing. And it's like a roadmap or a blueprint. So they won't feel like, that they don't know what they're going to be learning. Okay, and so my action plan changed. This is how it changed. From the data, I wanted to actually see how the students were actually doing in the classes. So one of the best ways to actually do that is to go while the class is running, because it's a computer-based training class. While the class is running, and I actually observe the students so I can see what kind of expressions and stuff that they have on their face. So I made note of that. So if they needed, they needed some help or something, then I was there. And I could also code and write down all the different expressions and stuff that I seen while they were taking the courses. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna show and tell some of the things that I have did. Okay, so first thing I want to do is show you the learner results form. Okay, so this form right here, this is a survey form that I designed. And in this form, what it does is it tells, just asks different things about the courses. And so I distributed this and gave it to all the different students and stuff and let them fill it out. And then I took the different questions and broke them into different groups and gave each group a code if it was a problem within that group that I seen more often or more than one time. So that's how I set that up right there. Okay, and so from there, give me 1 second here. Let me put this up here. Okay, and so this one right here, this is some of the different literature that I found. There's a whole lot of literature on how cognitive load is affected by different things that you do in class. And so I did some extensive literature and research on that. Okay. Now I have my PowerPoint presentations, and let me see which one I want to pull up first here. So this one right here, this is the old one. Give me 1 second here. Let me make sure I got that up there. Okay, so with this right here, when I do instructional design, I make like a roadmap or blueprint. Okay, and so I just write down all the different things that I want to appear on the different slides and stuff. So with this old one right here, as you can tell, you see this is nothing too interesting about the introduction. Then I don't have the buttons, to actually show what buttons I'm talking about or referring to. They're not included on this right here. And so this needed to be updated. And then if you look at one of the slides, it really does nothing, but it's just a lot of reading. There's nothing engaging about this at all. So, and then when you go down here, I think it's, let's see. Then they got these comical characters and stuff. And it really it's really not like it's a part, it's like it's standing out because it's got that white background. So it's really not a part of something that will make this course engaging. Then you have the goals. Now, you can't just have like just goals up there. You gotta have something as far as allowing the student to be able to want to achieve something or to reach something. So you got to tell them what they're going to learn in each module, and you need to split it up so they'll learn and progressively build and do a lot of scaffolding. So let's put this other one up here, and this is just another preliminary one where I had started updating it. Now, if you look, the instructions, see, I put the instructions on this side right here, but I hadn't included the buttons, but there'll be buttons that go there that go along with the instructions plus the audio. Okay, so that's gonna help them with their navigations. And then you see how I segmented these right here. Even though it's, text, I did audio that I added to it to make it more engaging. And then the main thing that I did so far with this is I told them about the objectives, and then I broke it down into each module, and then I put the assessments at the end of each one, and then they got a checkpoint. So these are just some of the things that I have did to update this course based on feedback that I got from the students. So let's see what else I got here. Okay. So reflect on lessons learned and potential steps. Okay, and so what I want to do, something I learned is that I think, like I mentioned before, the best thing to do is to actually go and actually observe the students. I mean, you can give them surveys and stuff, but actually interviewing them and watching their behavior is some of the best things that you can do. So that's what I gained from my inquiry. And I think that a lot of things that I have done so far on improving courses and stuff really helps the student, because I can take an introspective look and remember what I did, the things I used to struggle with in these different courses and stuff. And so with that being said, I'm gonna end this presentation here, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my presentation. Have a good day.